Whispers. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Dutch Dude Whispers, where today we will continue some Runescape lore. So it's been a while since I did one of these videos, and I figured it is time to do one once more. So the last time, if you have seen the video, we stopped around here. We're in the first age, with humans spread out, runes are created, the first decades, and we talked about humans, runes, Stone of Yas, magic, Harold Death Esquire, which is basically death. So he amended their ties, the first mortal to down the realm, blah 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 blah, and he becomes death. And I think we did this one too, but we'll just start here again. Okay, so Cassie is destroyed, and this is during or before the second age. This is before. The elder mage Ethron finds the Stone of Yas and brings it to this home planet Cassie, where it is placed near the mage conclave on Mount Firewake. The Cassians use the stone for various purposes, and it brings prosperity to the realm. However, the dragonkin soon find themselves unable to resist their curse and attack Cassie. The Cassians resist and discover Bane ore, a strange mineral with magical properties, and magically turn it to the dragonkin in order to harm them. This discovery comes too late, however, and the last Cassians are massacred on the Isle of Sun. So, let's see about Cassie's. I'll just open the Stone of Yas real quick. We did speak about this before, but Council of Elders, the Isle of Sun. I don't know what this guy is. We don't have to know, it's just a mount. Bane ore sounds cool. Let's see what that is. So, the Cassie is a planet near the Avanzi homeworld of Abina. Sounds like Agrabah, from Aladdin. And which once housed the prosperous civilization, which was destroyed by the Dragonkin. And if you remember, the Dragonkin, there were two of them, two clans, I believe, wiping out the Cassian civilization and killing all inhabitants. Cassie remains dead and ruined to this day, and ash still falls from the sky. There are two parts of Cassie available to players. Isles of Sun may be accessed only via the varying system using the code DIR, immediately followed by AX. Mount Firewake, the part of Cassie where rune dragons are located, can be accessed via the World Gate. Cassie features heavily in the quest ritual of the Mashahat, as the history of the Stone of Yas and the Dragonkin are revealed by exploring Cassie during the quest. The only parts of Cassie which are currently accessible is the Isle of Sun and Mount Firewake. Okay, so it was a civilization basically. I'm not gonna read all of this. If you really want to read everything, then well, you can always look it up, but this is a bit much, but we do one. So, the Stone of Yas was the first of guthix, or the Iosa domain, the catalyst, the capital of 1,000 truths, and it was, this is quite annoying, ancient object predating even the first age and the arrival of guthix. So it was one of those significant stones. I did do this before. Yep. It was one of the elder artifacts. So, namely the Dragonkin whom he has enslaved for this purpose later on. Okay. So then you have the Council of Elders as the leading government body of the Ice Mountain Dwarven Colony, a hidden settlement found beneath the Ice Mountain in northern Asgarnia. The council exist or have existed there in the quest. It is discovered that the mage conclave of Cassie fled to the Isle of Sun from Mount Firewake after they were assaulted by the Dragonkin for using the Stone of Yas, brought to Cassie by Elder Mage Everon. While on the Isle of Sun, the remaining Cassians sought to use Bane ore to combat the Dragonkin, using tempered anvils located on the island to turn it into weapons. While successful, however, the efforts were in vain, as their supplies of Bane ore ran low and the Dragonkin overwhelmed them. Okay, pretty cool. Everon. Elder Mage Everon was a Cassian explorer mentioned briefly in the journal found during the quest ritual of the Masharat. He is said to have brought the Stone of Yas to Cassie after a 6-year expedition through the large and strong, as well as very intelligent, all contributing to his prowess in battle. So he was released in 2013. Also known as Big High War God, Lord of Battle, but he had Craven. Not member only is male. Unnamed race. Presumed. So quest NPC missing, presumed death, dishonor among thieves. Status, deceased, oh he's dead, yeah. Location, ambience, the Bender's Tower, unknown. So, ascended by getting the god to the Otoko. God to tier 3 before the chosen commander, 4 after the chosen commander. Avatar and aspects, Bendos. Teal, brown, dark green, Bendosian. So, oh man, there's a lot of stuff on him. So, he's the one of Gillinor in the Second Age. Beating out of the brutish, unintelligent races like Goblin, Trolls, Ogres, and Orcs. Let's see. He was almost completely forgotten by the humans of Gillinor due to his disappearance after the God Wars, until his battle against Armadale in the early 6th Age, which ended with his death. I think I remember there was an event, but man, it's been a while. But I think there was like an event where you saw them actually fight, and you could help your god, I believe. I might be wrong though. The earliest mention of him is on Ubiusk. This is before the Second Age. He turned into his plane. We know this. The goblins are my creations, my property. Their only purpose is to serve me. You hear me? Goblin, I am your god. He was egoistic, manipulative, sadistic. They viewed him as barbaric, brutish, and he thought of his followers as disposable without remorse. Okay. Is there anything else? Yeah, this is basically all the things that follow him. Okay, that's pretty cool, so that's him. Now Ubiusk is a world within the multiverse that's separate from Gillinor. as he refers to it, the Earth Soul. On release, Virago was billed as the toughest group boss monster in Runescape, but has since been surpassed by Yakamaru, Nex, Angel of Death, and Solak. Using the Maw of Omens to finish off Virago is a requirement for trimming the completionist cape. In 2013. Damn! Jesus, level 10,000, oh my god. 50,000 life points, Jesus Christ. That's a lot. Heck. 5,000 max, oh my god. He is strong, so he was an ancient enema being that used to cause trouble in the past. Eventually he was defeated by a weapon known as the Maw of Omens and went into restorative sleep. He destroyed the weapon, shattering it into fragments and embedded it in his body. He later woke up around the beginning of the 6th Age, where he was just as powerful as he was back then. He was much friendlier. He was aware that the gods will eventually return, and that he will protect Gilnor from those that would endanger it alone. He does not mind fighting a god if they wish to spar with him, calling it a worthy battle. With Guthix's death and the shattering of the edicts of Guthix, Tuska made a way to Gilnor to consume it. Virago viewed Tuska as a threat and sent a representative. He was part of the Godless due to not being affiliated with any of the gods. Although he was not actually a member of the group, he had no interest in their quest. When Tuska made a way to Gilnor, weakened by the help of many adventurers, Virago grew in size and unleashed a powerful attack at Tuska, killing her. After this, Slisky can be seen talking to Virago about Tuska's defeat. After speaking with the player, he will teleport away. Slisky later counted this as a kill for Virago, allowing him to participate in his endgame. Virago no interest in the stone, he only came to ensure that the other gods would not harm the Earth Soul. Upon meeting Armadillo, Virago states that he regretted his decision to not interfere in the battle with Armadillo and Bendos, as he saw Armadillo's divine weapon as an affront to the anima. He can also meet Zamorak with or without his entourage, where he tells him that he does not see Slisky as an actual threat to him, because the Masharat had never defeated him yet. Since reawakening, Virago can be found in the borehole, where he accepts challenges by those wishing to fight him. He fights them so that he can hone his combat skills in the event that he is to defend Gilnor from those who would threaten it. His hero carries the Maw of Omens, which needs to be reassembled and used to defeat him again. However, as his various titles and the Vitalists suggest, he simply reforms himself upon defeat. Wow, okay, damn. This guy is a jonkster. A real chunky boy. So, this is the Maw of Omens, ancient weapon, created to defeat Virago. That has ever been used to defeat him. As such, Virago destroyed the Maw and stored each piece within his body. It's reassembled during fights and is required to complete them. Okay. Pretty cool. Pretty cool guy. Kinda like it. So, let's see. The Tsar leave the Guild, the first 2nd Age. So, left with Judy. Some took her leave the Elder Guild to explore the volcano, building the Tsukotso to supply them with sacred lava, assuring their survival. Despite their brethren's protest, they settled in a city nearer to the surface. However, the separation from the kiln evolved their bodies to an inferior form called the Tsar. So, we already did They are like golem-like creatures. They are peaceful. So, okay. So, the sleep of guthix. Yeah, so approximately, I think he slept for 4,000 years or so. So, guthix has become increasingly worshipped, much to his annoyance, for he feared he would become like the gods who had destroyed his realm. In an attempt to be forgotten, guthix decides to descend into the earth and slumber, hoping for Gillinor to be free of gods forever. He encourages Saren to also depart, and she reluctantly agrees. Guthix goes to sleep and leaves the elder artifacts behind, but Saren finds herself unable to part from her elves due to their curse and remains in Tirran. The start of Guthix's sleep marks the end of the first age and the beginning of the second. So, really quickly, we did do something about Guthix. We'll open this cave, and Saren, so she was the woman who accidentally cursed the elves by staying with them too long, I believe, and now they cannot really go without her anymore. We also did it like last time. The Guthix, this is Guthix. They updated his picture, I kinda like it. He was the god of balance and last member of the Nahaki race. He was the first of the young gods to arrive to Gillinor, soon bringing in the goddess Saren and other races. So this is him. He also did a part about it, but I really like this. Well, he looks good, considering. Yeah, actually does. Pretty cool. Krabby's deceased. Well, he became a god at the end of the war between gods and his realm, which saw the deaths of all his friends and family. By killing the god Skargaroth, he ascended to godhood himself. After which he left his devastated world. That was him. We did read about him, but I kind of forgot how he died. Assassination. So, in a desperate attempt to nullify the edicts and return the gods to Runescape, various gods' followers began to search for Guthix's refuge. At the dawn of the Fourth Age, most notably the Masharat, decided to bring back Samorag or Saros, but the god proved unfindable, causing the hunt to eventually cease. This changed in 169 of the Fifth Age, one of the most turbulent years in Runescape's history. That year, a down on his luck natural historian in employment of the Virago Museum, Orlando Smith, discovered what he correctly suspected to be Guthix's refuge in central Kandarin. However, he was unable to open the door concealed in the cave. The devious Zerosian Masharat Slisky found out about this and alerted his fellow Zerosian kin, who formed a plan to wake and negotiate Zar's return with Guthix. The cunning Slisky pretended to go along with their decision, but having secretly obtained the staff of Armadale, actually harbored other plans. Meanwhile, Orlando hired an accomplished adventurer to accompany him into the cave, the door of which they were strangely able to open. Inside, they discovered a smorgasbord of ancient artifacts, including the shattered sword of Guthix had slain Skargaroth with. The adventurer inadvertently set off a security mechanism, activating a silent alarm, which caused the Sword of Edicts in the Wilderness Crater to send distress signals to all the stone circles of the world, and also woke up Guthix himself. It also triggered the release of Quest security automatons, who detected the Masharat life form in the cave, and thinking it to be Orlando and his companion, killed the former before attacking and being defeated by the latter. Slisky then revealed himself and told the adventurer about the alarm and how various vaccines would soon arrive to kill Guthix. Concealed in the Shadow Realm, they observed similar to side with the Guthixians to prevent Guthix from all factions, and then aid Zerosians once they would reach him. He then left as the first enemies. Commanders Ciliana and Curiara made their entrance. After a battle that marked the departure of Kree, the adventurer met with the guardians of Guthix, who arrived to protect their god with several druids. Together, the party progressed through the cave and met with Crash in the central chamber, where the adventurer was made a guardian by Guthix as well. From there, they positioned themselves to counter the incoming attacks on the 4 storage wings. With great effort, they managed to send the Pandosian and 3 Zamorkian factions packing. Sayana and her army of Zaradomin invaded at that point, and while keeping the other Guthixians distracted, attempted to kill Juna, who was guarding the seal leading to Guthix himself. The adventurer protected her, but Sayana, who had been dueling Kress, killed the automaton, mistaking him for Guthix. As he fell, the Zerosian faction, Minas Slisky, arrived, having drilled the Zaradominist, thus avoiding detection. An argument arose between the Zaradominists, Guthixians, and Zerosians, and the adventurer was forced to pick a side. As they did, Slisky broke the seal to Guthix in the Shadow Realm and went after the god. The adventurer, unaware of the invader's identity, went after him while under attack of the opposing factions. They found themselves in front of Guthix when Slisky appeared and mortally wounded the god, using the staff of Armadillo before teleporting away. The dying Guthix took his newest guardian into his memories of the Naragi world and recounted his life story to them. He granted them additional powers to serve as a world guardian, protecting Runescape from the incoming gods. He stated that the massive amounts of power he had as a god disrupted balance and desired for a mortal to serve as the protector of equilibrium, admitting he had wanted to die for millennia, and he deliberately allowed Siski to kill him, despite being able to stop it at any time. He granted the adventurer immunity to divine magic and tasked them with protecting Gelinor from the gods before he died. With Guthix's death, his edicts fell as well, literally raining down upon the world. In the cave, the people present observed Guthix's petrified body in shock as Zaradomin himself arrived after more than 2,000 years of absence. So, wow, jeez. This is actually so interesting, so cool. So, after the death of Guthix, the abolishment of his edicts allowed the gods to return to Runescape, starting a new age, the 6th, as is customary upon a god's death. His energy was dispersed around the world and manifested in solid form. His power, along with some memory fragments, also materialized as energy wisps. This is where I think divination came from. I think so, at least. An ensuing turmoil resulted in damage to the Anima Mundi, which caused energy rifts to bleed out its life force into the world. A few human researchers soon found out about this and discovered how to harvest energy from the wisps and return it to Anima Mundi, helping deal the damage. Yep, this is all about so when this happened, I remember this. This was when divination came out first, and you had to stand over this race and go choo. Okay, the sound might be a bit weird, but I remember this. It was so cool. The Anima Mundi seemed to mourn his death as the trees themselves manifested crying faces on their trunks. Meanwhile, Kakmix, leader of the Druids of Taverley, announced the death of Guthix to the world, in addition to spreading his wish not to be worshipped. Most Druids agreed to stop worshipping him and massively empowered himself, using the collected energy. Yep, okay. There we go. I know I keep saying this, but so first this happened, and then divination came. I remember there were all these rifts and cracks, and I mean, you can still do divination, and then I locked off for some time, and I came back, and I just remember Saradome and something clashing in the middle of flipping Lumbridge, and it was a huge crack and stuff, and it was a mess. And then you had to you could pick a side. I think you could pick a side and start collecting the divination stuff for them, and you could see them fight, and I think they were gonna kill off. Well, of course, in the end, Saradome won because Zermak is not there anymore. But is he actually dead? But yeah, so Saradome won. But I think that's because the people who collected the most material for him in his team or something. I thought it was black. It was actually a very cool event. It was pretty fucking cool. Not gonna lie. Zermak is. Oh, he's alive. He's just defeated. He's not dead, but he's defeated. But yeah, anyway, I remember that was pretty super cool. Yeah. So, Guthix's cave is here. It's a large cave located a short distance west from the Legend Guild and east of the Ardun Lodgestone. Before the quest the world wakes, it was the resting place for Guthix. It was discovered by Orlando Smith. Yeah, that's a guy. And after the events of the quest, it becomes the shrine, Guthix Shrine. Okay. The shrine can be reached using the Guthix Shrine teleport on the 6-8 circuit, or the modified Diviner's Headwear. The upper floor contains a monument of Guthix. To Guthix. Attended by the Guthixian High Druid, a Druid and a Druidess. Chronicle fragments and Elder Chronicles can be deposited at the altar for divination experience. Offering 100 Chronicle fragments at this altar unlocks the Of Guthix title. The large lower chamber, which is reached by asking the High Druid for a teleport, contains about 30 automatons, which can be fought. This requires the quest ritual of the Mashahat, the Chosen Commander, Branches of Dark Mayor, the Firemaker's Curse, the Void Stairs back. Otherwise, the druid will not teleport the player to the chamber. And an elevator at the western end of the chamber allows return to the surface. Okay. The automatons in a room are separated into 4 areas. The majority of tracers reside to the left of the guardians, and the majority of the generators reside to the right. Blah blah blah. Dude, this was one hell of a ride. I mean, poor Guthix, he just wanted not to be worshipped. He just wanted balance. So his family, his friends slaughtered, killed one of these guys that did it out of anger. Became a god. Just wanted some damn peace. And actually, Guthix is just wow. Respect to the guy. Respect.